Good evening. Welcome to This Week in Review. Tonight's stories include hospital cutbacks, Mayor's message regarding hospital situation, Anglican Church report, Council report, and more. Please stay tuned. The top story in the news this week is the situation at Burgeo Hospital. On Tuesday, the staff at the Burgeo Hospital were informed by Dr. Harry Watts, Administrator for Western Memorial Hospital, that the services at the Burgeo Hospital would be reduced to that of a clinic, resulting in the loss of approximately 30 jobs. The general feeling at the hospital is one of disappointment and anger. Before Dr. Watts had a chance to leave, a large number of individuals from our community had assembled to show their disapproval of the news that Dr. Watts had brought. Another concern raised by members of the community is what would happen to patients like 10-year-old.
With the hospital closing, we don't have center wage. We don't want that to happen. Let's try to keep her here. At least there we can come and visit her. You take Caribou, it's going to cost a lot of money to go visit her in there.
Does she understand?
No.
Can she declare it care for her?
No.
BBS also aired a message from the mayor to the public on Wednesday night after bingo. We have that message again now for anyone who missed it.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of Burgeo. This evening I would like to take a few minutes of your time to discuss with you the situation in regards to our hospital at Burgeo. As you are all aware, the Burgeo Hospital was built in 1935 and has served this community and surrounding areas for several years. And over those years we have gotten adequate health care service. As of 1988 and 1989, the Burgeo Hospital was closed and only served as an outpatient clinic. This was due to shortage of nurses in Newfoundland and across Canada. The Burgeo Town Council took it on itself to go out and advertise to try and attract nurses to the Burgeo area. After several ads placed in the papers across Canada and the United Kingdom, we felt that we were successful and our strategy had worked for Burgeo in terms of recruiting nurses for our hospital. As a result of 6 nurses being on staff at the Burgeo Hospital was open for inpatient care. As of October 1990, we were informed by Dr. Harry Watts of Western Memorial Hospital that the Burgeo Hospital once again would become an outpatient clinic and a 50% layoff due to the cutbacks in the provincial budget. At that time, Council reacted immediately. We drafted a petition, circulated it around Burgeo and around the surrounding communities, Francois, Grey Rivers, Ramya, and Grand Brit. The petition was returned with 2,600 signatures on it, and then we forwarded the petition to St. John's, to the Minister of Health, and MHA Dave Gilbert. Shortly after that petition was sent into St. John's, Mr. Gilbert visited Burgeo, where he came on BBS and spoke to the people. After listening to Mr. Gilbert on BBS, shortly after Mr. Gilbert came into Burgeo and spoke to the people of Burgeo, he expressed concern over the hospital and said that the Burgeo Hospital would not close because the government would have the final say in any closure of hospitals. Listening to that, I felt more at ease myself and sort of laid low on the hospital issue. Until yesterday, we found out that Mr. Harry Watts, the administrator for the Western Memorial Hospital, was coming into town to bear some bad news. As a result of Mr. Watts' visit yesterday, our Burgeo Hospital, as of the 1st of April, will become an outpatient clinic. There have been 24 positions eliminated at the hospital. Those 24 positions do affect 30 employees. As a result, of this, all patients presently in the hospital will have to be admitted in the Corner Brook or some hospital on the west coast. Council feel that this is placing hardship on the healthcare system in this community and surrounding areas. Council have sent a fax to Mr. Gilbert and Mr. Christiger, the Minister of Health, expressing our concern over this very important matter. As you are aware, the people of Burgeo did show up yesterday afternoon for a protest, and this was greatly appreciated by all because it's everybody's health care that's going to be affected in this community. After listening to Mr. Harry Watts present the bad news yesterday, I tried to contact MHA Dave Gilbert by phone. I was successful this morning in talking to Mr. Gilbert. Mr. Gilbert assured us, the town of Burgeo, in the budget there has been $3.5 billion to be spent on a new facility in Burgeo this year. Mr. Gilbert is optimistic that this budget will be passed through the House of Assembly sometime in May. It will take $5 million to complete the new structure in Burgeo. At the present time, Mr. Gilbert said they will be monitoring the situation in regards to bids at the Burgeo Hospital, and if the announced 3 or 4 bids do not take care of the acute and emergency cases, then they will seriously look at extending the number of bids. I've also asked Mr. Gilbert to come into Burgeo for a public meeting. The earliest date that Mr. Gilbert can make it to Burgeo would be the first week of April. He's saying that he wants to come in the first week of April because Mr. Decker, the Minister of Health, will also be accompanying Mr. Gilbert to Burgeo. Ladies and gentlemen, with all that being said, those cutbacks at the present time will bear a bad financial burden on the patients of this community that has to go to Corner Brook, on the parents and families of those patients, where they have to leave work, pay transportation costs, hotel costs, meal costs, etc., to go and spend time in a hospital with their loved ones. In my opinion, in this community, at the present time as I speak to you tonight, we have 10 to 12 people who are home sick that should be admitted to the Burgeo Hospital. There's no question about that. The government and the administrator is telling us that under the new structure, there will be a number of bids for chronic care use. But in the meantime, while the new hospital is under construction and the prison hospital is reduced to a clinic, it looks like the people of Burgeo will have to suffer. But we will continue our struggle. We have planned the public meeting. We also have planned an organized demonstration. We'll be contacting the residents of Ramsey to come to Burgeo to participate in that demonstration. And hopefully we can persuade somebody to change their mind and give us adequate health care until the new facility is built. Thank you very much.
When Honorable Dave Gilbert, member for Burgeo Bay de Spare, visited Burgeo on December 3rd, he said he felt confident that the services at Burgeo Hospital would not be cut.
Heard that the administrator in Corner Brook, Dr. Watts, has taken the same approach that he used to take 3 or 4 years ago when I was in opposition. He used to threaten to close down the Burgeo Hospital and the Bombay Hospital every time he wanted any cuts. So he did the same thing again this year. But that has nothing, the decision to cut back on any service to any part of Newfoundland is going to be made by the government and the Minister of Health, Mr. Decker. And, as far as I am concerned, there will be the Burgeo Hospital, the services will not be cut back. We've asked the administrators in all the hospitals to look at what they can do to save money, but we didn't tell them that they were going to close any places, and the government is going to make that decision. Just to tell you how, confident I feel about it, is that there's money in this year's provincial budget to call for the engineering and consulting plans for a new hospital for Burgeo. And this contract is going to be called within the next couple of months. There's $200,000 in our current budget that's going to be spent on plans for a new hospital in Burgeo, which we hope the construction will be able to start next year. Now, that wouldn't seem to me to be a government that was going to close a hospital, would it?
I tried to reach Mr. Gilbert for his comments, but I had no luck. I will continue to try next week. Now over to Mr. Charles with the Anglican Church Report.
Good evening. On March the 17th, the new vestry met for the first time since its election at the annual meeting on February the 17th. This year the members of vestry are Ruth Spencer, Rector's Warden; George Henderson, People's Warden; Linda Pink, Parish Treasurer; Maxine Dix, Vestry Secretary; Brenda Cosser, Building Fund Treasurer; and Doris MacDonald, Jesse Matthews, Brenda Cosser, Audrey Han, Senate delegates; and Cheryl MacDonald is the youth delegate to Senate. Terry Hingram, Millie Begg, Gary Childs, May Leishman, and Joy Mead are alternate Senate delegates. Brian Benight, Sylvia Green, Jody Begg, and Lloyd Skinner, Emmanuel Young, Ernest Green, and Fred Sims are also on vestry. It was noted in the financial report that our envelope givings for the months of January and February of this year are down for the same 2 months of last year. In January of 1991, the envelope givings were $3,667.20 as compared to $3,720.25 of January 1990, a difference of $63.05, a very slight difference. In February of this year, the income from envelopes was $4,781.25. Last February it was $5,194.45. The difference is $413.20, a much more significant decrease. Each parish of the diocese is required to pay a yearly sum of money to Senate office. This year, Burgeo's share is $15,350. For a number of years, we were sadly in debt with Senate office. For the past 2 years, we paid the assessment and apportionment, as it is called, in regular monthly installments. However, so far this year, we have been unable to make any payments at all. The increase in the cost of oil has been the major reason for this. At the moment, we owe Irving Hoyle $1,422.43 for oil and $739.97 for a draft inducer that was installed on the furnace in the church. The financial picture can be summed up by saying that the bad news is we are not receiving as much income while our expenses have increased. Therefore, although very slowly, we are on a backward slide financially. The good news is that the loan we had last summer for repairs and maintenance of the church property has been all paid. From the cemetery report, we learned that when the 2 cemetery caretakers are hired this summer, they will also look after the cemetery in front of the Anglican Church. In the past, this was not the case. A grant under Section 38 of Manpower has been applied for. This is an unemployment booster grant and will be used to put a fence around the 2 small cemeteries on the Sandbanks, 1 Anglican and 1 United. Although at the moment there are 2 cemeteries there, the fence will enclose them and make them 1. This will cover an area approximately the size of the high school. A fellowship awards night will be held on May the 31st in the new fire hall. This social event is sponsored by Vestry and is being organized by the fellowship committee of our church. And the purpose of this event is to uplift in appreciation to the community some businesses, organizations, and individuals who have supported the church in special ways during the past year. It will be an event similar to the appreciation night held by the Lions Club and the Volunteer Fire Department. It's a way of recognizing the positive things that are happening in our community, to say thank you, and to spend a few hours rejoicing that such good things are happening in a world where so many undesirable things seem to exist. Every now and again we should stop, count our blessings, say thank you, and rejoice over these blessings. That's what the Anglican Church planned to do on May the 31st. The vestry would like to thank the Fellowship Committee for their dedication and capable planning, and for having the fortitude to withstand their many frustrations. They are to be highly commended. The vestry also wishes to thank Ernest Green for accepting the position of co-chairman of vestry, and Jody Begg for becoming the Kildeville camp representative. Thanks also are extended to Fred Pink for fixing the wiring on the electric heater in the parish office, and Bruce Batcher for doing some computer work for the parish. I want to acknowledge that Doris MacDonald is the representative for the Alive to Life conference again this year. The 3rd annual Alive to Life conference will be held at the Sir Wilfrid Grenfell College in Corner Brook on the weekend of June 7th, 8th and 9th. The guest speaker this year will be the former Primate of Canada, Ted Scott. Accommodations are available at the college. The fee, which includes meals and accommodation, is approximately $86 for adults and $40 for students. This year, there's a special appeal to youth and men to attend. In the past, the majority of those attending was women. It is a good weekend and one worth attending. For more information, please contact Doris. If you are inclined to attend church this Holy Week and Easter, the schedule of services are as follows. On Wednesday, during Holy Week, there will be Lenten devotion at 7 p.m. and Bible study at 7:45. On Holy Thursday at 7 p.m. there will be Holy Communion and stripping of the altar for Good Friday. On Good Friday, there will be a 3-hour devotion beginning at 12 a.m. On Holy Saturday, at 11:30 p.m., there will be an Easter Vigil. On Easter Sunday, there will be an Holy Communion at 8:30 a.m., Holy Communion at 11 a.m., and evening prayer at 7 p.m. If you would like to make a donation to have flowers put in the church in memory of loved ones, you have until Wednesday of this week to do so and have it recognized on the flower list. If you want to make a flower donation, please pass it to either Eva Dalamont, Millie Daw, Margaret Pink, or the parish office. For now, on behalf of the vestry and Reverend Small, I wish you all a happy Easter. Good night.
The 1991 budget contains a change with respect to big game licenses. In the past, prospective hunters submit a $5 application fee along with the $25 big game license fee when applying for a license, the latter fee being refunded to unsuccessful applicants. The new measure will terminate the $5 application fee and increase the license fee to $35 to be paid by successful applicants only, thereby eliminating the need to issue refunds and charging only those who actually receive a license. The senior hockey team traveled to Springdale last weekend. If you haven't heard how they did, tune in to BBS at a later date. 3 games will be shown on BBS. Community events. The Fire Department TV Bingo was won by Patsy Collier. The Fire Department would like to thank everyone for playing. The Ground Search and Rescue will be having a TV Bingo on Wednesday, March 27th at 7 p.m. Cards are $1 each or 6 for $5. Cards can be purchased at most stores around town or from any Ground Search and Rescue member. Please support the Ground Search and Rescue. Play TV Bingo. The Anglican Church will be having a general cleaning on Tuesday, March 26th. All Anglican Church members are asked to attend. A.J. Matthews' second-term pupil progress reports will be sent home tomorrow, Monday, March 25th. Parent-teacher conferences will be scheduled for March 26th and 27th from 2:30 to 4:30 for primary and 3 to 4:30 for elementary. March is Kidney Month. In the next couple of weeks, the Burnett's will be going door-to-door canvassing for the Kidney Foundation. Please give generously to this very worthwhile cause. If there is anyone who would like to help us canvass, call Jesse Matthews or Joan Bob. Any Burnett's not at the meeting can pick up their receipt books from Joan Bob. The Burnett's will be having a bake sale on Easter Saturday, March 30th at 2 p.m. at the new fire hall. Please come out and support your local fire department. We also have a wake-a-thon plan for April 12th. If anyone would like to support us, contact any member of the Burnett's. All proceeds also go to the new fire hall. There will not be a bandwagon next Sunday. The next 2 upcoming bandwagons are Country Western and Newfie Nights. Any performer who would like to appear on either of these shows can feel free to call the office and leave their name and which show they wish to appear on. New faces are welcome. Now over to Mr. Collier with the council report.
Good evening once again, everyone, and welcome to another Town Council report. The following are items or issues that were discussed at various meetings recently. Health issues. By now, practically everyone is aware of the health situation as it relates to our local hospital, with the reduction in staff and services, and the status from that of hospital to one of 24-hour clinic. Council admit with Dr. Watts to inform him of our disappointment and displeasures concerning the old issue of health care. Also, Council has contacted our member, Honorable Dave Gilbert, as well, stating our concern and frustration over the situation. We have been given every assurance that health care will still be monitored and staff will be recalled if the need warrants it. As of now, a meeting with Mr. Gilbert, Mr. Dicker, and also Dr. Watts is scheduled for April the 4th, although nothing has yet been confirmed. It was also stated that construction on the new facility, the Multi-Purpose Health Care Center, will begin this construction season, with $3.5 million approved for this year and the remaining $1.5 million to be spent next year. This facility, consisting of 16 chronic care beds and 6 short-term or acute care, is expected to be completed within 2 years. It is hoped that the full staff will be reinstated at this new facility, which is expected to employ approximately 50 personnel. While health care has to be the #1 priority throughout this whole issue, certainly the town will also suffer a loss to the local economy of about $1 million in wages, goods, and services, with the hospital drastically reduced. Regarding dental services for Burgeo, Council is still attempting to check out the status as it relates to all the budget cutbacks and so on. Town manager recently informed Council that Mr. Don Matthews was in town recently to go over the engineering plans done by Atlantic Engineering regarding the repaving of the town's streets, etc. Mr. Matthews is expected to be back in town during the first week of April to do a more complete job when more snow hopefully has disappeared. A meeting between Council and Seafreeze officials regarding a tax agreement is scheduled for Tuesday, March 26. Council is attempting to contact the Department of Public Works to rectify the water problem they have caused in the area of the new RCMP duplex on School Road. As soon as the regular working season begins, Council will be backfilling the area adjacent to the school bus stop at Messers. With melting snow and excessive rainfall, Council is aware of the potential danger this pit could pose. Financing has been put into place at the bank to begin the process necessary in purchasing the new fire truck. Building Committee report. Applications were approved for the construction of 3 sheds at different areas around town. Approval was given to an individual to construct an extension to a dwelling house at Messers. An application from an individual to obtain a parcel of land for the purpose of constructing a convenience store was rejected because the particular site was not zoned for this type of development. This same site had already been rejected several times in the past due to zoning. Meetings have been ongoing regarding the proposed senior center for Burgeo. Our committee has been informed that construction will definitely be starting on this project later this spring once the weather improves. Well, that's it for another council report. Thank you for watching, and until the next time, good night.
Well, that's it for this week. Please tune in during next week for programs such as a trip to Grand Brett, school variety shows, and more. Watch Channel 10 on Monday afternoon for the exact dates and times. On behalf of BBS and the BBS volunteers, I'm Dave Cooper. Have a great week. Good night.